Welcome to the FWOT Show on the Coil Entertainment Network, pointing out idiocy one story at a time. I'm Rob Steele, that's Jesus Jones in the background. Yes, the album is coming in less than 2 weeks. Awesome. What else is awesome? Deerfield, Illinois. Yeah, you don't hear about that place too often, but they are doing something right. They've passed a law banning certain types of firearms, including semi-automatic rifles, pistols, and shotguns, as well as clips over 10 rounds. Some people say, but what about the Second Amendment? Can't we buy things? Because the Second Amendment says you can buy weapons, you can buy guns, and you still can, just not those. Now, former law enforcement and military are exempt, and you know what? I'm fine with that, for the most part, because they've been trained on how to store their firearms so that people can't use them the way they're not supposed to be used, which frankly should be at all. That's right, shouldn't use them at all. You want to go hunting? Take a bow. Be a man. Be a manly man. Take a bow. No, you're going to take a fully automatic weapon with a 30,000 round clip or magazine or whatever the hell you want to call it. A magazine is something you read in the bathroom, isn't it? Anyway, I digress. I think this is a great thing. Granted, you can still buy all of that stuff in the surrounding towns, but you know what? At least one place is starting to get the idea. Maybe we can keep it going nationwide. That's a hint. Now, if you don't turn in weapons that you've already got of that nature, you become an outlaw in Deerfield, Illinois. That's the other thing that goes with it. I love that idea. Australia did it. Worked great for them. Why can't we do that too? Because we have jackoffs that believe in the Second Amendment. That it is sacrosanct. And yet it isn't. It's called an amendment for a reason. Now, I mentioned the law enforcement thing, and most of the time, I agree that if you've been a member of law enforcement or in the military, I'll include Coast Guard on that. You should be able to have a firearm, and that's fine. Then there's stories like this. This past Thursday, there was a man in Brooklyn who was fatally shot by policemen for wielding not a firearm, certainly not a fully automatic weapon. No, he was wielding a shower head. That's right, shower head. You remember when you took your shower this morning? That place where the water came from, that's a shower head. That's what he was wielding, and that's why the police shot him to death. And things like that make me nervous. I really do. I really think we need much more strict gun laws than just what Deerfield did nationwide. Why? You remember that shooting at YouTube? Yeah. Did you know that she legally purchased and registered the gun she used? Passed a background check. Flying colors. And still shot people. Because that's what guns do. If you can find another use for a gun other than shooting things, let me know. I'm curious. Well, Donnie Trump opened his mouth again, and look what came tumbling out. He now claims that cutting welfare to illegal aliens would pay for the entirety of his wall that separates Mexico from the U.S. Well, Don Boy, they don't get welfare. Ever, until they become citizens. At which point they're allowed to get welfare. So my suggestion is, if you are a Trump supporter, 1, good job listening to this show, and 2, just tell him that the wall has been built, so we can move on to more important things. And there are more important things to talk to. Even Fox News is catching on to that. This past Sunday, they revealed albeit accidentally, results from a survey showing that only 20% of Americans trust Donald Trump. In the same graphic, only 30% trust Fox News. Now, their announcer, and they don't get to use the terms reporter or newscaster anymore, their announcer asked to take that down. No, we didn't mean to put that up. Take that down. Quick, take it. Don't show it. Too late. It's out there. It's out there and backed up by several other news sources. So Fox News did actually broadcast some news this week. I just do find it a bit ironic that the first time they do that in years, it shows scientifically that they still really suck at doing the news thing. But that's not all for Fox News this week. No. On Monday, CNN reported that the FBI has raided the law offices of Donald Trump lawyer Michael Cohen. MSNBC reported that the FBI raided Michael Cohen's office. The BBC reported that the FBI raided Michael Cohen's office. The New York Times reported that the FBI raided Michael Cohen's office. Washington Post, they reported that the FBI raided Michael Cohen's office. Fox News, however, reported via Tucker Carlson that pandas are really aggressive and sex-crazed. No, seriously, that's where they went. Don't believe me? You didn't look at the cover art for the show. Now, yes, the cover art itself is put together with Photoshop. The thing on the TV that's on the cover art for this show, yeah, that's a screen grab of Tucker Carlson complaining with, frankly, a snarl on his face that pandas are constantly horny. Yeah. Fox News, a name you can trust to make shit up. Yeah, there you go. The new season of Major League Baseball kicked off this past week, and there were a couple of firsts that were a bit odd. One involved the series between the Giants and the Dodgers, with 4 games at Dodger Stadium, and they all ended in shutouts. Not a big deal. The first 2, however, and this was weird, were won by the Giants. 1-0 in both games. Joe Panik of the Giants hit solo home runs to provide the only scoring in both games. And that is the only time that has ever happened where one player provides the only run in 2 games consecutively. Ever. Not just to start the season, but ever. That's kind of weird, isn't it? Never happened before. Probably going to be a while before it happens again. But I suspect it'll happen a lot sooner than this next one. It's not necessarily baseball. It just happened to happen at a baseball game. You know how they have the national anthem before the game, and this was opening day in Seattle, so they had a big to-do. They had the big flag on the field. They had airplanes screaming overhead, leaving smoke, because that's healthy. And they had an American bald eagle, not a Canadian one. American bald eagle, the symbol of the country, and they released it before the game, and it flew around, and everyone went, "Oh, I feel so patriotic. Look at that eagle land on the starting pitcher and just kind of hang out on his shoulder for a little while." Freaked the hell out of James Paxton, that starting pitcher, who was just standing there patriotically looking at the flag until the eagle went, "I'm going to land here." Wouldn't that freak you out a bit? If an eagle just kind of, if anything, landed on your shoulder. The bluebird of happiness. That would kind of freak me out too, because if a little bluebird sat on my shoulder and started singing to me, it means I've had a stroke. At least that's what I would think it would mean. One other little bit of sports news that is not sports news. It just happened to involve someone who plays for the Green Bay Packers. Wide receiver Trevor Davis, who quite frankly I had never heard of before this story. It goes a little something like this. Have you ever wondered what would happen if you tried to check in at an airport and when they ask you the question, do you have any weapons with you? If you just make the joke that yes, you do have weapons. You ever wonder what would happen? So did Trevor. Now he knows. They asked him, do you have any weapons? He said, yes. Then he turned to his companion and asked her, did you pack the explosives? Now, he was kidding. This was a joke. Personally, I think it's kind of funny because that's a really stupid question. Even if you are going to take over a plane and someone says, do you have weapons? Yes, I do. Oh, crap, you caught me. How clever of you. No, it doesn't work that way. Anyway, he said yes as a joke and was promptly arrested, booked, and eventually released on $15,000 bail. That's an expensive joke. It's still funny, though. And then there's sex. Because what would a show be without sex? No, it has nothing to do with Donald Trump. You can, not worry about having your eyes burned out thinking about this one. I want to know if you think this is a good idea. There's an app, not for sex. Give me a minute. It is a sexual consent app called Legal Fling. Now, I'm not sure if it's available in the States yet. There's currently a Dutch company that has put this out, and it creates what they're calling a legal sex contract between consenting adults. The idea is, if you go to a club, a bar, a church, wherever you go to pick up your opposite sex or even same-sex partners, and it goes so well, you go back to their place, they come back to your place, whatever, and you think there could be sex involved, you open this app and you send a, hey, yes, I'd like to have sex with this person request. And if they say yes, they cannot come back later and legally say, yes, you raped them. Because, hey, look, there's a consent form that has been signed. Although I don't think it prevents one party from taking the phone to the other and answering yes. But is this a step in the right direction? Is this where we want to go? Does this help the Me Too movement? I don't know. Let me know. Contact me through the website, thefwotshow.com, or send me an email, rob@thefwotshow.com. How hard is that? Let me know what you think about this. And you know what? While you're at the website, clicking the buttons for Facebook or Twitter or whatever, don't forget to click the buttons to subscribe to the show on iTunes or through the Google Play Store or YouTube. You know what? Go ahead and click the button for the FWOT shop as well. Pick up a hat or a t-shirt or a coffee mug. Everything you get there goes to support the Coil Entertainment Network and is greatly appreciated. In the meantime, I'm going to leave you with what is probably the least intelligible headline of the week. It concerns the shooting at YouTube. The headline reads, YouTube shooter may have had a grudge against the company. Oh, you think? Really? Is that? Wow. Good reporting. Must have been done by Fox News. So until next time, be safe, drive carefully, and remember, Chris is still risen. But this week he's actually gone to the store for more beer. We'll see you next time.